On today's episode of Unbinged, we're talking everything from episode 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Some really important details you may have missed. It's going to help us in the story later. And then a really, really, really big detail you definitely didn't miss on Sir Arlen the Hung. We're going to talk about all that and more on an episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down the shows, movies, and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown. Got Jagger, Matt Kopfhamer, Sam Holt. We're going to talk everything from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 2. But first, let's get the spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for like all things Game of Thrones and the world of Ice and Fire. So if you're not caught up, now's your chance to do so.
Yeah, like all things Game of Thrones. Ice, fire, dong, all of it.
Massive dong.
This was
How many dick jokes are going to be on this episode?
We're gonna get. We're gonna front load it. Just like Sir Arlen is.
Wow.
I honestly think they did the full frontal like that on purpose because Game of Thrones was known, especially in the first couple of seasons, was known for being pretty excessive with the full frontal with female cast members. So I wonder if this is their little subtle nod of being like, haha, get it? Dong.
I really do. Like, I feel like this is a funhouse version of what we had from Game of Thrones initially. And it's done like that on purpose. This show's fantastic so far. We've watched the first 2 episodes, but reviews are coming out now for the entire first season. People that have seen the full season. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, guys, from the critics. Highest rated first season of any Game of Thrones property. What are the vibes right now for the first 2 episodes? Like, are you guys feeling that same 95%, or where are you guys at?
For sure. This is an amazing adaptation. I mean, I went into it hopeful that they would hit the key moments from the book, and so far, to me, they've done not only a great job of adapting the book, but also expanding upon some of the scenes and adding some scenes. Like this episode, we get the tug of war scene with Lionel Baratheon again, who again just a star on screen whenever
that wasn't even a rope. That was Sir Arlen. But we're gonna keep doing.
Love
this.
it. I love it so much. But having that added scene just gives you extra context and really helps liven the world and really fill it out in a way that the book, for as short as it is, can't quite do. So I'm loving this so far. I'm having a great time with this show.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this. I'm glad that we did the book club moment before we all watched this. I really enjoyed reading it, but it also gave me so much more context leading into this season. And I just feel like they're doing a really good job of building the world in a way that is easy to, for at least for me, because I haven't watched Game of Thrones, to jump in and feel like I can still be a part of the fun without making me feel excluded like you guys do when you're like making references and making fun of me that I don't know certain things. But I'm enjoying the ride. This is a much better story for me to, I think, lean into this world.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is...
sorry, Sam,
go,
for
Jack.
making you feel bad.
It's okay. I come here so that I can have fun and, stay humble because you guys make fun of me so much.
Love you.
Yeah, we love you and stuff. Guys, the ending scene from this episode was... I thought it was great. Because I think it's almost like we got that moment of seriousness from an episode that was almost exclusively like humor and lightheartedness. And we get that moment of seriousness that kind of lets you know what's coming up. The monologue that Dunk has about Sir Arlen of Pennytree. I loved the monologue that he gave there. I mean, everything from the jousting showing the intensity of what is to come. The kind of like little panic attack that Dunk starts to have, realizing it lends itself to this question. Is Dunk ready to risk his life for legacy? And what does life mean to him? Is it worth living if he's going to do exactly what he said about Sir Arlen, which is live in the hedges and die in the mud? And that's the question that Dunk asks himself. And I think that's the question that the writing team is asking the viewers to have for themselves and for Dunk, and to make us care more about this.
Like the dinosaurs used to say in the Flintstones, hey, it's a living.
Wow. Just off the top rope with a Flintstones reference.
Solid.
I also go back to he's going back to like Sir Duskendale and what he told him. He's just like, well, how did you become, not of the Kingsguard, just a crabbers? Like same way we become crabbers. And then the obvious answer is hard work. So that's
and a little bit of nepotism.
Well, I mean, that's the actual answer, but what he was meaning to say was hard work, what he thought the answer was. And that's what people like Dunk actually have to do. And I just want to give this show credit because like the dialogue is as good as it's ever been in a Game of Thrones property. It's no longer these bars and stingers that seem very much well written for TV. Just the sarcasm is so great from even like these small characters. Like, oh, you saw Baylor? Like, no. So then move the fuck out of the way.
It's so good.
Oh, fucking love that scene.
And then like Egg, like Alfredo, you said you were in last episode. I wasn't out. I really loved it, but just how Egg's dialogue and exchanges are just increasingly more and more brazen with Sir Dunk. It's hilarious. He's like, oh, so Duskendale, a crabber. It's like they own all the basically all the fucking crabs.
Yes.
There's been a lot of scenes like that have been so good. Like the one that to me, it was such a simple scene, but it encapsulated the relationship with Dunk and Egg so easily. And it felt like a very real conversation where Dunk's like, if you rob me, I'll hunt you down with dogs. And Egg's like, you don't have dogs. And Dunk, I'll get some.
That was so
And then
good.
he's like, where? And Dunk just barks at him. Like, it's such a perfect encapsulation of like Dunk trying to be menacing, but just also kind of just being really stupid and big. And like Egg, like you see, he's just brazen. Like he doesn't care. And the conversations feel so real. Jack, it's like what you said. It's not trailer dialogue, like stuff that you need for teasers. It's just real conversation, and it's phenomenal.
Yep.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's he's like, like I'm a bit puny. He's like, people call me dumb.
And
What and that's the end of that story. People just call me dumb. What do you mean there's supposed to be more to that story? That's the story.
I think honestly, not only is the dialogue really well done, but one of my favorite scenes was, and one of my favorite characters in the episode was the steward in the background while Dunk is confronted by the two princes. And the steward is just like having a panic attack as Dunk stumbles his way through this conversation, especially when Prince Baelor is like, yeah, he broke 4 lances against me. It's like, actually, it was 7. And then the steward's like, are you what is wrong with you? Just losing his mind in the background, and just that small little detail of these, even the characters in the background who really are not important to the scene at all, are just encompassing that, like, this is a real world that we're seeing, is what it feels like, because even the background characters are reacting in a way that makes sense. And so just those little details, you can tell that somebody like George R.R. Martin is actually consulting with the showrunner on this, and is like, these are the important things that make this world actual and feel real. So this is what we have to focus on, not just the grandiose part. And like we see at the end when we see the final tilt, or the first tilt, and it's like, that is an amazing like action sequence, but that's not what the show is about. At the end of the day, it's about the characters and what they're doing within the show.
Well, and what's so important with how they're doing it, Kopf, is like, it's not Game of Thrones where you've got 7, 8, 9, 12 different stories that you have to follow and so many characters to learn about, and you have just a wealth of story there. What they're doing is they're taking these tiny scenes and little bits of dialogue and making them work so well. It's like a dish being seasoned with subtlety that makes the dish perfect, instead of over seasoning it and you just fucking hate it at that point. Like the tug of war scene to me was actually really important, because it was something where it's like, if you got invested in that silly little scene with no stakes and it's just fun, you're going to be 100% invested in everything else going forward. They made us care about this scene. They give us sort of like almost the power set for Dunk, because we haven't seen him fight. We don't know if he can actually survive and fight and do well in the jousting tournament, but we do get to see him versus other average knights, and just how much bigger, how much stronger, everything he is to him, and getting that funny little moment of Lionel Baratheon walking off, being, I'm thirsty, you cunts, and then comes back later and he's just like, yeah, I did it. There's just there's so much to it, man. It's those little scenes are being done to perfection.
I felt like there was more to that scene too, in terms of, him showing Dunk that he is strong and not to hide his strength as well too. Like
Yeah.
going out into the crowd and getting him, you're gonna do this, and okay, you're playing tug of war, I'm gonna walk away, I'm gonna pat you on the back, you've got this. And you see him doing, like, actually realizing that he can lean into his strength, I feel like, in that moment too. So to your point of taking a lot out of these small moments and layering in not only good humor and good writing, but also these moments that are really important to our main character here.
The one that really got me as we got towards the end of the episode was Dunk selling his horse. And I've never like found myself going so quick from laughing consistently and enjoying the show to just getting immediately sad, like tears welling up. And stuff with animals like always gets me. And so I'm thinking there of like almost the Sylvester Stallone story for him to write Rocky, where he sells his dog to get the money for it. There's just like a very similar vibe here. Like I can't imagine selling my dog so that I can have enough money to potentially die in this tournament. And like that's what Dunk is doing. But even as he goes through that, he makes sure that there's enough money for the horse to have oats and an apple so that she can be treated special. And afterwards just says, no turning back now, I suppose. In a scene that feels so small, it actually means so much for the development of Dunk as a character and how much we learn about him.
It reminds me of the Kingsman when the main character like saves a fox, and it's like even the smallest creature is important to this character. So to see someone in a world that's so brutal like Westeros is, to see them have a tender moment with one of their like literal like the horse is a tool to a knight. So to see them have that emotional connection even with a quote unquote tool is really important for the characterization of Dunk, and shows that he is more than just this big brute. He's actually like he has a gentle heart at the end of the day. And so I think you're right. That's a really important scene to show that he is willing to go out of his way and even take money from his own profit to go back towards this animal that is no longer his.
There's a few more of these scenes that I want us to jump into and talk about, but before we do that, I want to let everybody know you got a bunch of ways you can enjoy this show, Unbinged. First, it's going to be right here on YouTube. So if you're watching, take a sec to like this video, hype this video, comment down below with your thoughts on the episode, and make sure you're subscribed, because not only are we doing this here on YouTube, but we're over on Apple and Spotify. And if you're listening there, please take a second to leave a 5-star review. That stuff matters so much to us as an independent podcast, just trying to grow, trying to be bigger, better, do more things for you guys. And we've got a bunch of different shows that we're going to be covering. Guys, every Sunday, A Night of Seven Kingdoms. Every Tuesday, we're going to be covering the biggest headlines in entertainment news. Wednesdays are going to be Fallout. We're going to do the finale of Fallout, probably with a special guest for you guys. And Thursday, The Pit. Every Thursday night, right after it airs. We also just talked 28 years later, The Bone Temple, The Beauty, where we just eviscerated that show to shreds. So you got a bunch of reasons that you can subscribe to Unbinged. Guys, another scene from this. I know the selling the horse was good. Sam, you mentioned the thing of like Dunk kind of accepting his size and who he is and his identity. I laughed so hard when he asks the dwarf, "What's the banner over there?" And he's just like, "Can't you see it, you giant cunt?"
So good.
It's
Yes.
so good.
So many moments in the town and in all of these little moments where he just needs to get over his imposter syndrome and either, continue on the mission or walk away. And I think going into that scene and watching the joust, you can see him having this panic attack of like, this is what I'm going to be throwing myself into. But then all these little moments of like, feats of strength and these things where he can, get people to back him and feel like he means something. He's searching for that meaning. And I think I'm ready and I'm excited for the next episode because I'm hoping that that imposter syndrome continues to be shed from him and his being so he can like become the knight that we've all been reading about and what we're waiting to happen in this show. Although the awkwardness is quite enjoyable. And especially with Tansel Too Tall when, he's doesn't realize that he's hitting on her and then is just like later to Egg, he's like, I messed that up, right? Like that did not go well. Like that was hilarious. And Egg is so much more intuitive and understands just society and what someone should and shouldn't say. And he's like, well, technically she's painting your shield, so you didn't mess it up that much. But like, he's just The dynamic is so good.
It's great that this adult has to ask the child, like, hey,
Yeah.
did I mess up this conversation with this other adult?
Yeah.
You got to remember,
You didn't
Dunk's,
do a good job.
Dunk's only like 17, 18 in the story. So he's not that much of an adult comparatively.
Well,
Like, he's new to all
Okay.
this too.
Yeah, that's a good thing to point out. I didn't realize he's only like 17 years old.
So he's
They really
new to all
age him
this.
up for the show, I guess. We could be watching like a 17-year-old. Because like back then, they were having full-blown families by 24. You know, you were
Yeah.
a grandpa
Sure.
by 40.
They're
back
doing the
then.
Disney Channel thing where we've got a 25-year-old playing a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
back in high school again.
Hello, fellow kids.
Sam, you mentioned Tansel Too Tall.
Yes.
This is really, I don't want to say our first introduction to her because we saw her in the first episode, just very briefly, running the show with the dragons. But now this is our first time like seeing the back and forth between them. What'd you think of that one?
I really enjoyed it. She's clearly looking at him just like, oh, you really don't know what you're saying, or that what you're saying is wrong or like inappropriate. So it was definitely just a very sweet moment, I think, for her. And then the befuddling faces that Dunk was making, I thought were hilarious. Like, he's going to have to lean on Egg's society knowledge to know what he should and shouldn't be saying, because right now thoughts are just coming out of his mouth at this point, and he's going to need to learn how to filter himself.
I'm going to ask you to put your own personal biases aside, but do you think that Tansel was looking at him like a snack? Was she?
Like the way I do?
Yeah.
No. She was probably like, "Aw, you're just so sweet." But I think she looked like she might have been a little bit flattered, but at the same time, like, okay, like I don't know what you're trying to do here.
See,
Yeah,
I have to ask this because most guys are going to be like, she was into me.
No,
And it's
she
not even
wasn't.
close.
She was like, that's cute, like, and sweet. But guys, if you're hitting on someone, do you want them to think, oh, that's cute about you?
No, ever. You don't
Exactly.
ever
So
want that.
probably not. This is not she's immediately into him. She's like, oh, that's cute. That's like, it's not like it's shut down, but it's like at the same time, it's not like, oh, I'm so into this moment. It's just like, oh, like,
It's a first
You're
impression,
kind of like a
but not a
child.
great first impression, is what you're saying.
It's a
Yeah.
southern bless your heart. It's
a southern bless your heart.
and you don't want to be
It's
there. You know,
recoverable.
that's
I
not.
think you can come back from it.
Yeah, it's
You can definitely come back from it, but you know.
She did try to lead him to the finish. Most women
Yeah.
won't try to let you get there if they aren't just. And I'm not saying she's into it, but at least just curious as to what would happen, because she's like,
Yeah.
you know, like perfect for what? You know, like
Yeah.
most like
She was doing
try
it for
to
the
shut
plot.
down.
She's like, okay, I want to see where your brain is actually trying to go with this.
Yeah.
That's got to be
Let's finish
kind of
the thought.
refreshing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got to be refreshing compared to everyone else in this camp.
Exactly. He does seem refreshing. It seems like he's also refreshing to every character he's coming across to, that he's just so innocent and he's just
genuine.
trying to do the right thing.
Except for that little Targaryen, or that little, I don't know if she was a Targaryen, but that little girl.
Oh, the name day?
Yo, big and stupid, and
Yeah.
then like cocks back at him. Like, what the fuck was that?
That's the birthday girl. That's the.
It felt like the moment in Ted where Mark Wahlberg's like, why the fuck would he say that?
She was so mean.
That's like, I love was it Maycor too, where he's going on, it's like, you were the truest knight, you were the truest lance, and he's like, ugh. Like, it's like that's exactly how I felt too.
I fucking love Prince
The
Maekor.
asides from all the characters are so good.
You gotta remember, so Baelor is he's the heir to the throne. He's got to be the diplomatic one. Maekor is the fourth son, so like he has been written off since he was born, essentially. So he can do whatever the fuck he wants and like have the attitude he wants. And I love seeing that on screen because you have to, if you're Baelor, you have to be like this, you know, paragon of virtue in front of the realm. Even this you know, hedge knight where Maekor is like, it doesn't matter what I say.
Let's hop into that, because we get a little bit of this like back and forth with Maekor Targaryen. His sons are missing, and it's one of those things like if you're not paying attention to it, you kind of miss the importance of it, and maybe you've missed the fact that we've actually seen his son before in episode 1, where we have the guy who throws the dragon coin in episode 1 at the, what is that? What would that be called? That's not a bar. It's like an inn.
It's a roadside inn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's drunk, and quick Google will tell you that's Daeron the Drunken, the eldest son of Maekar Targaryen, great grandson of Daemon and Rhaenyra. Cough. Yeah, look at that. I did the research.
Look at that. I'm
I
so
am the
proud of you.
research.
I'm so proud of you.
But if you'd said it wrong, he would have called you out.
Yes, I would have.
Immediately.
Oh, someone's
He'd have
still
been-
gonna call me out in the comments. Someone's still gonna call me out.
Yeah.
He didn't pronounce the silent E well enough in Daeron.
So how many sons does Maekar have?
Probably a
4.
lot. They were
Ah,
fucking.
He
there
has
you go.
4.
Yay.
Yeah. Do me a solid and get fucked. I read the text.
Yeah.
But right now he's got 2 sons that are missing, Daeron and Aegon, who are both missing, and we can see where that's going to take us. But this was, if you go back to Daeron, who we did run into, he has that line where he looks at Dunk and says, "I dreamed of you. Stay the fuck away from me, you hear?" Cough. I'm gonna go to our resident expert here. Can you explain this?
So Targaryens are not from Westeros. They're from old Valyria, which was destroyed in a cataclysm years ago. But the Targaryens are linked to magic. Not only do they have the link to dragons, but they also have this magical ability. Some of them are born with the ability to have prophetic dreams. And so one of the reasons they left Valyria before it was destroyed was because one of their daughters had a dream about the doom of Valyria, and they got the fuck out. And that's when they went to Dragonstone, and then eventually went to Westeros. So Daeron is apparently one of the Targaryens that has this ability, but a lot of times with it is it's not, because it's prophetic, it's not super clear what it means. It's just, vague, and so you have to interpret it. So he may have dreamt about Dunk in some form or fashion, but he may not know what it really means, and that's why he's like, just stay away from me, because I'm not dealing with this fucking destiny bullshit.
Could that be like one of the things where it's like that's why he's drunk all the time, is to not
Definitely
have these
possible.
prophecies?
Yes, and we actually also see it with in House of the Dragon. Helena also has these dreams, and that's why she's so fucking weird, and everyone treats her differently, is because she's always talking about her prophetic dreams and like, girl, what are you doing? And she also likes insects and bugs and stuff. But that's a lot of times.
That's cool in my opinion. I know it's ghoulish, but
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like a lot of times it kind of haunts
Ghoulish is a
them.
great word.
It's less of a blessing and more of a curse, because it like you said, it leads to them being depressed and trying to repress it with drinking and going a little crazy. So it's definitely not a great ability to have.
Yeah, this was I feel like this is going to be a scene that obviously we're going to we know the secrets of this season and like where this is going to lead to, but the Targaryens are going to remain important throughout this, and there's a lot of reasons why. I want to ask you guys this: what are you looking forward to most after this episode? Because this was very obviously a setup episode. This was a here's a bunch of small details episode. This is kind of setting up our characters a bit more. Jag, I want to ask you, what is it that you're still waiting to see or want to see going forward, without any kind of like spoilers or anything like that?
I'm ready for the plot. We have the setup and everything. I have this wonderful world where I enjoy the dialogue. I'm locked in. They've done all the work to get me in the seat and to get me to get the temperature of the water. I'm just ready to dive in and actually get to the action, because we got this big motherfucker who's got something to prove. We got this tournament. I'm ready to see Game of Thrones do a sports movie, or like, because that's basically what this is. This is Game of Thrones sports underdog Ted Lasso show, and I'm ready to see the plot for that.
That's a really good comp for this.
Yeah, that is really good. Hopefully that also makes people give it a little bit of slack, because that is a really good comparison for this movie. I'm excited just to see Dunk actually, for us to see what he's capable of doing at this point in the story and in this world that they've built, because again, we've read the book, so we know what he is capable of doing. And this is definitely not going to be something where it feels like as soon as he goes out there he's going to be amazing. He's definitely going to have stumbles and falls, and he's not going to be perfect, but I'm excited to see the hero's journey that he takes to discover his strength and to lean into those strengths that he has.
Kopf, I'm not going to ask you. Actually, you know what? Let's hear what you want.
You
Let's
don't
hear
get
what
an
you
opinion.
want. No, because I'm gonna do the thing that we're just gonna make this a thing every episode. Kopf's gonna get like 30 seconds to say as much as he can about the lore.
Deep breath.
I am excited to see more jousting. We got a little bit at the end of this episode. I want to see more of like a full, because they went over it briefly, but basically the reason for this tournament is that little girl that called Dunk stupid it's her birthday, and so this tournament is in her honor, and so she has 7 champions that basically fight for her honor. You can challenge a champion, and if you beat them in the list, you can name yourself champion. And so that's what Dunk is talking about. Even if I win for an hour, I can call myself a champion of Ash Returney. So like I want to see more of that and see some actual like fighting on the ground. So
I hope that little girl gets incurable diarrhea.
gets dysentery.
Dysentery, dog? Like,
No,
this
just-
is call
just-
what it is.
Oregon
Just plain
Trail.
diarrhea.
Oh, okay. So not quite Oregon Trail, just
Okay,
consistent.
cholera.
Like
Just
she's
cholera.
always
Just
got
Consistent. People were dying from crazy shit then.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Okay, so this week I want to talk a little bit about.
Hold on. I'm setting the timer.
Wait, he didn't
Ready?
already have the timer on?
No, that was just him talking about what. Sam's like, can we end the fucking episode already?
Kopf gets so much
I
time.
mean, this is going to be a shorter episode for us because this was a really short episode of this show, and we're covering everything. But Kopf, you're going to get 30 seconds here. I have the timer ready to go. You ready?
Yes.
Start.
Okay, so we meet Aegon Brightflame this episode. It's the blonde Targaryen that calls Dunk a stable boy. He's like, oh, you too dumb for that? Basically. So we actually know, because of Game of Thrones, what happens to him later on, because Joffrey is a little spoiler. But basically, Aegon Brightflame, later on in the future, believes that he can bring dragons back by drinking wildfire. And so he tries to drink wildfire and turn into a dragon, and instead he dies horribly and screaming. So there you go.
Good job,
That's pretty
man.
good.
Yeah, that's a
You
heck of a
did
job.
it.
I did it.
Congrats. We need more timers on shit. That's gonna really take this podcast to the next
So
level.
Aegon Brightflame is the third son of Maekor?
No,
Second.
he heard the buzzer,
No,
buddy.
no,
He heard
no. Kopf,
Time
there's
is
no
over.
fucking overtime, man. We
Just
don't
adding
do
context,
that.
Just adding context to who he is.
Next time you get more context.
On the next episode.
Let me have this, damn it.
All right, guys.
Training
Before
for this my whole life.
that's why I'm giving this to you, and like we're parceling it out. Okay? You giving us like thoughts from the Game of Thrones lore. It's like lambus bread. Like it's enough to fill us for the whole week, and then we'll be back again next week for 30 seconds.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I'm,
see?
I'm about it. I'm about
Mixing
it.
medieval worlds down.
It's kind of a compliment. I'm
Way
not
to
sure.
manipulate him with fucking Lord of the Rings. I love it.
I really did. Your knowledge is satiating.
You shall not pass.
Guys, anything else that you guys want to add? Are we good on this episode?
We good.
We ready
good.
for more.
We good. All right. Let's ride out then. Yeah, that's going to be a wrap. Guys, please make sure you are subscribed to Unbinged for every single week. We're going to give you A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're giving you The Pit. We're going to be talking the finale of Fallout. We've done some movies. We've done some Netflix limited series. We've done all kinds of stuff. And then every Tuesday, we've got our biggest headlines from entertainment news. So make sure you're subscribed to Unbinged. And once again, if you are listening on Apple or Spotify, leave those 5-star reviews. It means the world to us. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Sam, for Kopf. We'll see you next time. Adios.